Hi guys. Welcome back to the Review Pod. I don't know, I feel like just giving you a virtual hug. You have had a long week, haven't you? Here we are back again to the Review Podcast. I am your host, Rachel Anita, kama K, kama kawaida. And today I want to talk about something that is real, yet very personal. It is universal. Everyone has undergone it, and I think you can all relate to this one. I want to talk about the role we sometimes play in our own suffering. Yeah, you heard me right. Most of the time, when we are going through suffering, we tend to blame it on someone or something or an event that happened to us. Well, I'm not saying that it is wrong to blame others, but sometimes you have to think about what you're doing that is causing this suffering to even hurt more on yourself. There are different forms of suffering. Let me start with that. There's natural suffering, like you can suffer loss of a loved one, disappointment, like losing a job or grief. That is normal. Then there's external suffering, which is caused by other people's actions. This can be something like betrayal, your friend did something you didn't like, or injustice, like maybe you went through, why did I just think of mob justice? That doesn't even make sense. But yes, injustice, social injustice that you don't like, or a toxic partner who undermines you and you don't like that. That is an example of external suffering. Now, internal suffering is pain we unknowingly prolong by doing the same actions over and over again that cause the same results. For instance, it's saying yes when you clearly wanted to say no, but you keep on saying yes, I can do this, yes, and you don't know how to control that. Now, how do we contribute to our own pain? Staying in draining spaces. For instance, I don't like, okay, I just have to use this example, but I don't like it. I understand many people are in this situation not liking being in that situation or not choosing to be in that situation. For instance, you are in a job that you don't like. You are in a job you don't like, you don't love. I'm laughing because my bestie is in a job she doesn't like. And we have been complaining about this for about 4 years now. And there's nothing you can do about it because you just can't wake up and leave your job without having another source of income. But again, that is contributing to your own suffering. I'm sorry bestie, I'm really sorry, but we are contributing to your own suffering by allowing you to stay in that job. Another instance is a friendship that is one-sided. You are always the person reaching out to this other person. You're always the person showing up to this other person. I believe friendships and social interactions need to be two-way street. So if you're not meeting each other halfway, that is a terrible place for you to be. And you can avoid that by simply making a change. You can move if you don't like the job you're in or the place you live or anything that is bringing you discomfort. You can move. You can create a boundary. Guys, I think there's no episode that exists in my platform that does not talk about boundaries. I feel like once you set boundaries and once you know this is what I want and this is what this is how far I'm willing to go, it makes life so much easier for you. Here are some questions to check on yourself, to ask yourself, am I really doing the best for myself? Number one is, what am I choosing again and again that keeps on hurting me? I think when it comes to romantic relationships, this one you just have to learn. Utaenda huko ikulambe, urudi tena. But sit down and ask yourself, why am I choosing this over and over again? Another question is, what am I avoiding that brings growth that I think is hard? No, let me rephrase that one. My village people have come for me. Sorry. Why am I avoiding growth? Is it because it feels hard? And I think that's a question you really need to ask yourself, because sometimes it's like leaving home. It is so hard the first time you do it, but it's something you have to do to grow. And sometimes growth is never easy. It's not something we all like being in our comfort zone. We all like just chilling and being happy and being merry and all that. But for you to grow, you really have to go through uncomfortable changes, uncomfortable metamorphoses to get there. That's like the caterpillar and butterfly story. But at the end of the day, you will grow and you'll feel better and you will stop your own suffering. Another thing, what lie about myself am I still believing? Hey, this one, even me, I'll call myself Kakona, because I think there are lies we tell ourselves, and we gaslight ourselves so well into believing these lies, which are not true. Ask yourself these questions and call yourself to a meeting and tell yourself, I don't want to suffer anymore, because this suffering is not taking me anywhere. There's this, I think we all know this psychological thing someone said, it's always on TikTok, whereby you see a photo of someone holding onto a sharp knife like this. I don't know, I wish I had something to hold, like this. And the more you keep on holding to that sharp knife, the more it keeps on hurting you. The moment you let go, you start your healing process. So I do hope you look at your life, you really take a step back and ask yourself, what is it? What role am I playing? Is it by choosing this person, choosing this job, choosing this situation, I have heard of people who literally cut off everyone else, and I don't blame them. Choose yourself. If it is causing you suffering, choose yourself and run any other time. Now, choosing to interrupt this cycle may be difficult, but it doesn't always have to be dramatic. It just starts with awareness. You're self-aware that, you know what, this thing is hurting me. I don't like using jobs and relationships, but those are like the most common things that hurt people, and they still stay there nevertheless. Let me use my own example. No, I'm not using my own example. Just think of the thing. I wanted to say my relationship with chocolate. Hey guys, I've suffered. You guys remember when we started this year, when I told you I was doing 5K steps? When I said, after it wasn't 5, I said I'm doing 5 kilometers every day. Then I said I'm not going to eat chocolate anymore. I am causing my own suffering. So when I don't fit in jeans, who do I blame? Myself. Growth is painful, but it causes you to move forward. Like I said, you have to ujifinye tu kidogo to grow and to become better. Sometimes it really starts without even noticing. It's a simple thing, a simple gesture, just the tiniest of things can help you go a really long way. Like learning how to say no. Practice how to say no in the mirror. Tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do this. Say it every other time. Mpaka ukifika in a situation where it requires you to say no. If you can't say it, if you're like me, if you can't face it, just text someone and say, imagine I can't do this. Because I said I am a chronic people pleaser. If you put me in a box, in that situation, like you meet with someone, you're like, oh my God, I miss you so much. And they're like, I miss you too. And they're like, oh, we should catch up. We should go to lunch. What do you usually say? Yes, actually this Saturday, let's go. Where are we meeting? Mi niko hapo hadi nimefungua calendar. Yes, and I can see my calendar is full. But I'm still like, yes, yeah, I can do noon. And I know noon I'll be at the dentist. But I'm like, yes, I can do noon to 1. I'm so sorry to the people I've done this to, but I do that. Then the day before that, I'll be like, guys, I'm so sorry. I can't make it because of this and that. Don't be like me. Learn to say no, mapema. Be honest with yourself. You can't do this thing. Why are you saying you can do it? Why are you still in that relationship? Why are you still in that situation that is causing you to be that way? And in case you forget everything I've said, just remember to be kind to yourself. Don't be the one person who doesn't believe in yourself. Let everyone else be wrong about you, but you don't be wrong about yourself. The other thing we do that makes us really play a huge role in our own suffering is over-identifying with our pain. I don't know how to put this softly or kindly or nicely, because there's one thing people do that personally I don't like. I don't like victim. What's that word for it? Victim. When you're always playing the victim, what's the word for it, Vanessa? You're victimizing yourself. Like something happened to you when you were 5. Okay, I'm not saying it's not a huge thing, but you cannot always lead or always introduce yourself with the trauma that is bound to you. It is not the only thing that is interesting about you, let me tell you. Because something happened, let's say it happened when you're 5 years old. I do understand some things are very, very traumatic, but that you can't get over. And I'm not downplaying that at all. But let's say something happened to you like, I don't want to underplay people's trauma. let's say someone cut your hair when you were in high school, when you were in Form 1, someone, those things people used to do when you were asleep, then they come and put, someone alekewa pink lotion when you're in high school. What? Unaamka unapata nywele inaanguka. You cannot start with that every time someone new is meeting you. You're just identifying with your pain. I feel like when you go to therapy, which I hope you do, and you talk about it, you learn to let go of these things and you grow better and better with your relations with other people and yourself. The other thing is not asking for help. So you are there, you're suffering. Maybe ujakula, ujanini, but you're not asking for help. Learn to ask for help. People love you. People care for you, and people will be there for you. People will stand with you. Just remember that people love you, people care for you, and people will show up for you when you need that help. I know sometimes it is difficult. If you're like me, it is so hard to ask for help. But remember, the community around you cares for you and values you. So usikufe tu hapo peke yako, and there are people who love you, your family, your everyone. And do not be that person who cried wolf. Sasa mpaka the time you need help, no one can come to help you. But either way, still ask for help. People are more than willing to help you. The other thing, when it comes to playing the biggest role in our own suffering, is comparison. I always say comparison is a thief of joy. There's this clip I once watched where a pastor was preaching about comparison. And he said the moment you start comparing yourself to someone else, imagine you've left your house. Just imagine you're in your own place. Then the moment you start, you say, Nani has better this than me. You have left whatever God has placed you in and moved aside. Remember that everyone, especially on social media, let me tell you guys, you should have seen me an hour ago. I was not looking like this. On social media, we post what we want people to see. We post what sells. We post what, that one good, fine, refined side of us. No one posts when I did say, no one, if we turn this camera and show you how Vanessa looks like, that's not how she looks like every day, but we move regardless. So do not go online or in any scope of your life and start comparing yourself. This is something unajichoma tu roho. You're just there. It is not nice at all. The other thing is ignoring God's voice of prompting. Can you say hallelujah, church? Every time we do something, we hear God's voice telling us, walk away from this situation, walk away from that person, walk away. Hey, but you're saying because you're too scared to move? No. Remember, you're never alone. If you're a Christian like me, or whatever faith you're in, or whatever you believe in, you are never alone. God is there for us all. He loves us. But the way God says, love yourself. Love your neighbor as, I like using that verse. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It is assumed that you love yourself first. It is assumed that you will not be the one to kill your own dreams. It is assumed that you're not the one person putting yourself down. It is assumed that you're not the one person shooting yourself in the foot before moving on. God loves you. And with that, remember to not play in your own suffering. Yeah, I think that's it. I have nothing else to add to this podcast. I think I've said enough things about how you play that role in your own life. And it is sad to see so many people in that space, so many people not understanding that you cannot always blame the next person. You cannot always blame everything else around you apart from yourself. It cannot always be like bad things. No. Okay, bad things can happen to you, but how do you react to them? How do you move on from that? Do not avoid accountability. While others may hurt us, healing begins when we ask ourselves, what choices did I make that got me here? How did I get here? And what other choices can I make to get myself out of the situation? So I do hope this week you learn how to love yourself just a little bit more. And let go of those things. I know it can be hard and scary and all those things at first. But at the end of the day, listen to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to God's voice. And be kind to yourself. Be brave enough to shift even in the most smallest and tiniest of ways. And thank your future self will thank you for it. Do something today that your future self, 1 week from now, 2 weeks from now, 5 years from now, will be like, I'm so grateful that I don't I'm so grateful that Sophia walked away from that job. I'm so grateful that this part of me did this at this time. And that is all, folks, for this week. Thank you. Short and sweet, kama kama kawaida. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share with a friend. Thank you so much. Bye.